Elon Musk walks into a room and everyone pays attention. Jeff Bezos speaks and markets move. But 4,000 years ago, when Pharaoh Khufu entered a room, people literally threw themselves to the ground, believing they were in the presence of a living God. Today, we're diving deep into the ultimate power showdown that will completely change how you think about wealth, influence, and control. Ancient Egyptian pharaohs versus modern billionaires. And the answer might shock you. Before we begin, let's establish what real power actually means. It's not just about money, though that's part of it. True power is the ability to shape reality, to make millions of people do exactly what you want, and to leave a legacy that outlasts your lifetime. With that definition in mind, let's meet our contestants. In the modern corner, we have today's billionaires. Elon Musk, worth over $200 billion, controls space exploration, electric vehicles, and social media discourse. Jeff Bezos built an empire that touches nearly every household in America. Bill Gates shaped how the entire world uses technology. These men don't just have money, they have influence that spans continents. But in the ancient corner, we have the pharaohs of Egypt, Ramesses II, who ruled for 66 years and commanded armies of hundreds of thousands. Khufu, who mobilized an entire nation to build monuments that still defy explanation today. Hatshepsut, who wielded absolute power in a male-dominated world and transformed Egypt into a trading superpower. These weren't just rich people, they were considered living gods. Let's start with the obvious question. Who had more wealth? Modern billionaires have numbers that seem impossible to comprehend. Elon Musk's net worth fluctuates by billions in a single day. Jeff Bezos could buy entire countries. But here's where it gets interesting. Those numbers don't tell the whole story. When Pharaoh Khufu decided to build the Great Pyramid, he didn't just spend money, he commanded the labor of an entire civilization. For over 20 years, roughly 100,000 workers toiled to create his tomb. The resources weren't just his wealth. They were the wealth of an entire nation, funneled through his absolute authority. Imagine if Elon Musk could simply command every person in America to work on his projects for free. That's the kind of economic power the pharaohs wielded. But here's the kicker. The pharaohs didn't just own things, they owned people. Not in the modern sense of employment, but in the ancient sense of absolute dominion. Every grain of wheat, every drop of Nile water, every piece of gold mined in Nubia, it all belonged to the pharaoh. They didn't have a net worth. They had a net kingdom. Modern billionaires, for all their wealth, still operate within systems. They have shareholders, regulations, and competition. When Jeff Bezos wanted to go to space, he had to build a company, follow safety protocols, and compete with other space ventures. When Pharaoh Ramesses II wanted to build Abu Simbel, he simply pointed at a mountain and said, "Carve my face into that," and it happened. But wealth without control is just numbers on a screen. Let's talk about real, tangible control over people's lives. Modern billionaires influence us in ways we don't even realize. When Mark Zuckerberg changes Facebook's algorithm, he literally shapes how billions of people see the world. When Elon Musk tweets about cryptocurrency, entire markets explode or crash. When Jeff Bezos adjusts Amazon's policies, small businesses across the globe live or die. This seems like ultimate power until you realize what the pharaohs could do. They didn't just influence people's opinions, they controlled people's souls. In ancient Egypt, people genuinely believed that their eternal afterlife depended on the pharaoh's favor. Imagine having power not just over someone's job or their news feed, but over their entire concept of existence, both in life and death. When Pharaoh Akhenaten decided to completely change Egypt's religion, he didn't post about it on social media. He simply declared it. An entire civilization of millions abandoned gods they had worshipped for thousands of years. Overnight, no debate, No voting, no board meetings. It's absolute, divine command. Modern billionaires have to convince, manipulate, and incentivize. They use marketing, lobbying, and economic pressure. The pharaohs simply commanded, and it was done. They didn't need to change minds. They owned minds. Now let's talk about the ultimate test of power: legacy. What happens when you're gone? How long does your influence last? This is where things get really interesting, because it reveals something profound about the nature of power itself. Modern billionaires build companies, foundations, and institutions. Bill Gates' foundation will likely continue fighting disease for decades. Tesla might revolutionize transportation forever. Amazon has fundamentally changed how humans buy and sell goods. These are massive, world-changing legacies. But here's what's mind-blowing. We're still talking about pharaohs who died 4,000 years ago. It's not just talking about them. We're still discovering their tombs, still decoding their messages, still marveling at their achievements. The Great Pyramid was already ancient when Julius Caesar saw it, and it's still standing today. That's not just legacy, that's immortality. When you visit Egypt today, you're not just seeing old buildings, you're experiencing the direct result of individual human will projected across millennia. Every hieroglyph, every statue, every temple is a pharaoh's power made manifest in stone, defying time itself. Think about it this way. In 4,000 years, will anyone remember Jeff Bezos? Will Amazon still exist? Will Tesla still be relevant? It's hard to imagine. We're still saying the names Tutankhamun, Ramesses, and Cleopatra. We're still uncovering their secrets, still awed by their achievements. But modern billionaires have something the pharaohs never had: technology. And this is where the power comparison gets really complex. Elon Musk's satellites circle the globe, providing internet to remote corners of the world. Jeff Bezos' algorithms predict what millions of people want before they know they want it. Bill Gates' software runs on billions of devices simultaneously. The reach is incomparable. Pharaoh's power was limited by the speed of horses and the reach of human messengers. Modern billionaires influence travels at the speed of light, crossing oceans in milliseconds. When Elon Musk makes a decision about Twitter, it affects conversations in Tokyo, London, and Sao Paulo simultaneously. But here's the paradox. This technological power is also more fragile. It depends on infrastructure, on electricity, on cooperation between nations and corporations. The pharaoh's power was carved in stone, literally. Their monuments have survived floods, earthquakes, wars, and the rise and fall of entire civilizations. Modern digital empires, for all their reach, could theoretically disappear overnight. A solar flare, a cyber attack, a change in government policy, and suddenly the digital foundations of billionaire power could crumble. I tried destroying the Great Pyramid with a computer virus. It's impossible. This brings us to perhaps the most important factor: the human element. How do people actually respond to these different types of power? Modern billionaires inspire admiration, envy, criticism, and sometimes fear. They're celebrities, but they're still human. People feel free to mock them, criticize them, and challenge them. The pharaohs inspired something far more profound: religious awe. They weren't just powerful humans. They were living gods. When ancient Egyptians looked at their pharaoh, they saw a divine being who controlled the Nile's flood, who ensured the sun rose each day, who held the keys to eternal life. This wasn't just political power. It was spiritual, psychological, and existential control. Imagine if people today literally believed that Elon Musk was a god, that Jeff Bezos controlled the fundamental forces of nature, that Bill Gates held the keys to their soul's eternal destiny. That's the kind of power the pharaohs wielded. It's not just about what they could make people do. It's about what people wanted to do for them. Modern billionaires, despite their wealth, still face resistance, criticism, and opposition. They have to navigate public opinion, media scrutiny, and political pressure. The pharaohs didn't have these problems. Opposition wasn't just politically dangerous, it was spiritually impossible for most people to even conceive. So who had more power? The answer might surprise you, because it depends on how you define power itself. If we're talking about raw, absolute, unquestioned control over human lives, the pharaohs win by a landslide. They had something modern billionaires can never have: the absolute, unquestioned belief of their subjects that they were divine. But if we're talking about reach, scale, and global influence, modern billionaires have power the pharaohs could never have imagined. They affect billions of lives simultaneously across the entire planet. They shape the future of human civilization in ways that would have been impossible in the ancient world. Here's the really fascinating part. The pharaohs had deeper power, but modern billionaires have broader power. The pharaohs could command absolute obedience from their subjects, but modern billionaires can influence the entire human species. The pharaohs created monuments that last forever, but modern billionaires create technologies that transform how humans live, work, and think. In a sense, we're comparing two completely different types of power. The pharaohs had the power of gods over their people. Modern billionaires had the power of humans over the entire world. Both are extraordinary, but in fundamentally different ways. But here is what is really mind-blowing: the most powerful pharaohs and the most powerful modern billionaires share something crucial. They both understood that true power isn't just about controlling resources, it's about controlling narratives, dreams, and human imagination. The pharaohs convinced an entire civilization that they were gods. Modern billionaires convince the entire world that their visions of the future are inevitable. Both types of power ultimately rest on the same foundation: the ability to make people believe. When you really think about it, the most powerful humans throughout history haven't been those who simply accumulated wealth or commanded armies. They've been those who could make millions of people see the world differently, who could bend reality to match their vision, who could make their personal dreams become everyone else's reality. The pharaohs did this through religion and divine authority. Modern billionaires do this through technology and economic influence. The methods are different, but the essential power is the same: the ability to reshape human consciousness itself. And that leads us to the ultimate question. In our modern world, are we creating new types of pharaohs? Are today's tech billionaires becoming the god kings of the digital age? The answer to that question might determine the future of human civilization itself. What do you think? Are modern billionaires more powerful than ancient pharaohs? Or have we just created a new form of digital worship? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe.